Hey guys, it's Drax. We all know that feeling. Just pop round the corner, then
Hello there.
dead. One-shot weapons in Battlefront are great to use, but are also such a pain to fight against. I've been in some battles where everyone has a shock blaster and it doesn't play out well. It wouldn't be so bad if there were only the odd one, or only worked at close range, but with some star card combinations, some weapons can be a real menace. One click from a few weapons on the current Battlefront game have the ability to kill you in no time at all. With Battlefront 2 on the horizon, here's 5 weapons I want to see changed for the upcoming game. So we're going to start at 5 and we're going to work down to 1. And in 5th place is the TL50 Heavy Repeater. Now the Heavy Repeater is one of my favourite guns to use and probably the gun I have the most kill streaks with. But it has a secondary fire mode which I feel gets abused a bit too much in this game. And the main problem would probably be because it cools down too quickly. Now, it's fine the way it is and the way it works and the way you gotta guide it, but you can use it too often. So all I would say with this one is just make it a bit slower to cool down. So you've got to switch back to the primary mode and use that a bit more. Because you see in some fights, some players will use the secondary fire constantly. On to number 4. And this is the EE4 Blaster Rifle, which is an adaptation from the EE3, I believe. Now, the EE4 is a beast, an absolute beast in close quarters combat. In Bespin on the sabotage levels near the carbonite freezing chambers, that EE4 is the best gun to use, and it's the best in a lot of ways. Now, the problem with this weapon is when you combine it with star cards on the current Battlefront, like Focus Fire, you can use it so far away that you really don't need to use any other weapon other than the EE4. Now, as we've seen with the next sort of system, the star card system on Battlefront 2, this shouldn't be too big a problem. So maybe as it stands, it'd be fine. The only thing I would say, like at closer range, you should have to land those headshots. So it's not such an instant kill unless you've aimed for the head. So moving on, we're going to the number 3 spot, and this is the CJ9 bow rifle staff. Now, it's not the actual bow rifle itself isn't the problem here. It's fairly balanced against all guns. It feels nice to fire. It's a semi-automatic. You have to be pretty skilled to use it at some ranges. But the staff is different. It's the one-shot melee attack. And once again, the problem with this is I feel it's too quick. Now, if we've seen games like Battlefield 1, when you go for a melee, the animation takes a little while. And that's what I would like to see from the staff, that you have to shock them maybe a bit longer if we get to see this weapon in the next game. Onto the number 2 spot, and we have the CA87 Shock Blaster, otherwise known as a shotgun. So this weapon is obviously extremely lethal as it's a shotgun in CQC. But when you get outside of those ranges, it's not so good. Well, once again, it comes in the problem with the star card system, because if you get explosive shot or focus fire, then this weapon can be used beyond those ranges. And with focus fire, it can be kind of used as a sniper rifle, because the blast that it puts out, the pellets form into one slug with focus fire, and I think it's a one-shot headshot kill and like a 2-shot body shot. And most of the time at closer ranges, yeah, it does one shot. So it's one of those weapons that with the star cards, it would become viable at all ranges, and that's not what I want to see from weapons in Battlefront 2. And finally, we have the number 1 spot, and that is the rocket launcher. And the reason I've put that here, I know it's not a weapon in the current game, but in Battlefront 2, it will be a weapon for the jump trooper and the super battle droid. And the problem with this is that they can use it fairly often. It's got such a large damage radius, like a max damage radius, that anyone in that radius dies. And that's the problem with it. It needs to have its minimum and maximum damage radius, and they need to be scaled properly so that players on the outside take maybe a quarter or half their health, and then players closer to the rocket or where the rocket lands or where if it hits them directly, they die still. But right now, it's like everyone dies in that area. And that affects certain weapons such as, I mean, grenades, thermal detonator, and the imploder, of course, is a big one here. Because you can be right on the edge of the imploder's blast and you can still die. It will still insta-kill you. I feel like EA needs to work on that minimum and maximum damage radiuses for the explosives. So that's where the rocket launcher comes in. And I say the rocket launcher, like I said, is going to be used on both that jump trooper and the super battle droid, and it's going to be used fairly often. So I would like to see it tweaked before we get to play the final version of the game. So that's the main 5 I would like to see changed for this upcoming game. It's not that I want these to be removed or not feature in the game, it's just that I feel a bit more skill could be added to them to reward players as they get better at the game. The main weapons look to be fairly balanced in Battlefront 2 as they are in Battlefront 1 as well, but it's the weapons that we unlock after that that might be a bit more unbalanced and might need looking at as well. So it might be some of these weapons that we see in the list here. So anyway guys, that's my list. If you've got any weapons that you'd like to see changed or maybe adapted for the next game, let me know in the comments. If you found this video entertaining, please subscribe for more Battlefront 2 videos as there will be more coming in the future. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you next time.